Godspeed to the city streets.
You were frantically shoving your clothes into your suitcase. Your hands were moving fastly as your mind raced. The shots from your mother echoed up the staircase. Her tone was a mixture of impatience and nervous excitement. Why, Anshi, hurry up. We need to leave in 10 minutes. We are running out of time. She yelled from the base of staircase. You groaned, rolling your eye as there was a knot of anxiety tightening in your stomach. You didn't want to leave this house as you had spent golden period of your life, a childhood here along with your parents, especially your dad. Your eyes got watery as you passed, clutching a soft sweater to your chest, and looked around the bedroom. The walls were bare, no slipper of posters and photos leaving behind a hollow shell. The scary thought of moving in your stepdad's mansion along with your mom was frightening you. You clearly remembered when 2 days back priest asked your mom the following words: so does anyone have objection to the marriage of Jeon and Lee? You silently said yes, but there was not that much silence as it was heard by your mother as she looked at you out of the corner of her eye, a smile gracing her gorgeous features. You didn't want your mother to get married to someone after your dad, as you were afraid that your stepfather will snatch your mom away from you. But your mom assured you that Mr. June was not someone like that. Instead, he is a nice man who will take care of you and will treat you like his own little daughter. Suddenly, a smile crept on your lips when you recalled a moment where your stepdad, mom, your mom was a nurse in charge by her profession, and Mr. June met her in the hospital. She took care of him for a few days as he was suffering from any disease. After her father, he became a heartbroken and sad person. He needed someone to comfort him, and your mom was proved a great comforter to him. While you were lost in your own never ending thoughts, your mother yelled once again. Why, Annie, come downstairs in 2 minutes or else stay in this empty house for the rest of your life, she said, the urgency in her voice raising. Coming, you shouted back, snapping out of your thoughts. You zip up your suitcase and halted it off the bed, dragging it to the downstairs where your mother was standing by the front door, her own suitcase by her own feet. Let's go, she said, looking at your pale face. She sighed and squeezed your shoulder. Don't worry, June would be a great father, and yeah, you have a sibling too, Jeonjungkook, who is of your age. It will be nice for you to have someone to talk to, someone who will take care of you as a younger sister, she said, and gently caressed your hair. You forced a smile as you were not expecting your stepbrother to be nice because he is the one who didn't appear on his dad's wedding. He said that he finds the marriages boring. That's why he didn't bother to show up. Finally, you both loaded the suitcase into the car and you both pulled out of the driveway. Your mother held your hand and gently rubbing it, she began. Vayani, I know it's hard for you, but it's new beginning for all of us. We need to make it work. She said politely, I can understand, Mom. You said staring out the window, a familiar street of your neighborhood blurred past. After driving for almost half an hour, finally you pulled up to the house. No mansion. Your breath caught in your throat. It was huge, a luxurious mansion with towering windows, manicured lawn, dancing fountain in center, and a huge place to sit and have a cup of coffee in the evening. It was like a dream mansion. Mom, I guess we came on the wrong address, you said, looking around with your big open eyes. No, sweetheart, we are at right place. It's your dad's mansion. We are gonna stay here, she said, smiling at you. Wow, you said, gulping down. Though your mom told you that her new husband was wealthy, but this was beyond anything you had imagined. Your mother held your hand gently and walked up to the front door, which opened before you could knock. There stood your stepdad with a kind eyes and warm smile. Finally, my wifey and lovely daughter is here to complete my family, he squealed, giving a warm long to your mom. You smiled looking at them and then you looked around the living room. You got ass at work as the interior was mind blowing: marble floors, a sweeping staircase, leather couches, and sofas, a chandelier that glittered like stars. As you turned your head, your eyes fell on a boy standing in the base of the stairs with his black shiny hair. He had a kind of face that belonged on a magazine cover. His features were sharp, almost angelic. He had lip piercing around his lips and his one hand was fully tattooed to make him look like a good. Before you could check him out, your stepdad spoke out. Wine, sweetheart, this is my son, Jungkook, and son, she is my Wine, your younger sister, he said, following your gaze. Your heart skipped a beat hearing that this was your stepbrother, Jeonjungkook. He was nothing like you had imagined. In fact, he was perfect. The kind of perfect that made your stomach twist with something that you didn't want to acknowledge. Jungkook looked at you with his piercing eyes and a smirk tugged on his lip which raised your heartbeat before he could say something. His phone rang. Glancing at the caller ID, he excused all of you and went upstairs to his room. After some time, you all were sitting on the dining table. As you all were about to start eating, your mother spoke out. Where is Jungkook? She asked, looking at your stepdad. He must be playing video game. Don't worry, he will come when he will feel hungry, he said, smiling at your mom. Your mom smiled back and you all started to have food. After having the food, your mom guided you to your room, which was upstairs right beside your stepbrother's room. The room walls were painted into white color and it had queen-size bed along with side tables where illuminating lamps were placed. There was a study table with acrylic chair, and right on top there were some novels and books which were organized neatly in a shelf. The room had a huge attached bathroom with relaxing tub and all the basic essentials. You were really happy having such a beautiful and luxurious room. You neatly arranged your dresses in a wardrobe and then laid on the bed to take some rest. You closed your eyes to feel the peace, but suddenly your room door swung open, which ruined your peace. You quickly groaned and looked up at the person who was behind this. Don't you have manners to knock at the door before entering in? You asked. Relax, it's my style, he said, plopping down on the bed beside you. What did you just call me? You asked, throwing at him. Is it wrong to call my beautiful sister? He asked. Your heartbeat raced faster. Well, would you like to see my room? He asked, and you shook your head. Come on, he said, listening the last word. You groaned as you never thought a handsome boy like him could be this much despite knowing the fact that it's her stepsister. Suddenly someone knocked at the door. You looked up and saw your mom entering in. Seems like you both became good friends, she said, leaning towards you. You first a smile, nodding in yes. Who said so? It's been 10 minutes, mother. I have been insisting her to come to my room as I wanna show her around, but she is not listening to me at all. Seems like she doesn't like me. He faked up out. No, mom, he is lying. It's not so, you said loudly, glaring at him. You really need to behave nice to your brother. Now get up and go with him, she said sternly. But mom, I want some peace. Your words were stuck in a mouth when you saw him winking at you. See, mom, he is winking. You said, glaring at him. Huh? When did I? If you didn't like me, dear sister, you just simply tell me. You don't need to blame me, he said, wiping off his unshed tears. Hey, you stop lying, you said, glaring at him. Why, and it's enough. You will have to listen to your brother like a good girl, she said with stern expression on her face. You groaned and got up as Jungkook guided you to his room. Why, you lied. When I said I don't like you, you asked, cringing your eyebrows as you both reached his room. So that means you like me, cutie pie, he said, leaning towards you. I was saying about siblings, you said, rolling your eyes at him. Did I talk about another? He said, smirking at you, which made you scoff. You looked around his room and got startled, seeing how he has organized each and everything. You thought that this room would be burst of dark black with his pictures. Instead, it was a perfect blend of beige and gold. The room was perfectly neat and clean. So you like the room? He asked. His name on your lips made you dance around in joy. Instead, you nodded slightly. Sit here, he said, patting the space beside him. Are you sure? You said and looked at him with your Bambi eyes. Jungkook didn't seem too amused as he sighed, looking at you. You moved to sit beside him, making sure to keep your distance as you didn't want him to know how your heartbeat races. He chuckled. Well, your rising heartbeat saying that my existence has some impact, he said, tilting his head to you. You stormed out of the room and slammed the door behind you, which made him smirk playfully. Time skip, I was in my bedroom laying down after doing my night routine. I closed my eyes, but his handsome face didn't let me feel sleepy at all. I had never been to believe in love at first sight because it seemed to me. I mean, how you could fall in with someone without knowing a thing about them, but the moment I laid my eyes on Jungkook, the world around me got blurred. His angelic face made me. I couldn't believe that I owned a heart who could beat like a washing machine. I know it's wrong, but can someone stop themselves to not fall? As far as I know, no one can. I took a deep sigh and looked through my room window where stars were shining brightly than usual. Time skipped to the morning. Arthur spoke. You were in the kitchen making yourself a breakfast and you woke up late, so your parents had already left. You were making the pancakes when Jungkook entered in. Your heart skipped a beat when you saw him sitting on the counter chair. You quickly looked down, focusing on the pancake in front of you. Hey, what are you making? He asked in his deep voice, making your heartbeat race faster. I'm making rice. Can't you see what I am making? You said, flipping the pancakes. Oops, hold your horses. It's not good for your health. He said, smirking at you. You rolled your eyes, making him giggle. So, how are you finding it here? He asked. You shrugged, trying to play cool. It's good. I will get used to it. You said, dishing out the pancakes. Jungkook nodded, his gaze never leaving you. There was a silence, but this time it was charged with something unspoken, something electric. Suddenly, Jungkook reached out and tucked a strand of your hair behind your ear. As you looked into his intense dark eyes, when he spoke, his voice gentle. You looked up at him, your heart pounding so loudly that you were sure Jungkook could hear it. Jungkook was staring at you. Before you could form some words, Jungkook leaned. Nothing else mattered for that moment as you were lost. But suddenly the handle of the main door moved and you both backed off quickly as you rushed to the upstairs, while Jungkook ran to the living room where he plopped down on the sofa. You climbed the stairs and reached your room as you smiled to yourself while cheeks were flushed. Time skip, you all were sitting in the living room as a complete family when your stepdad spoke out. Jungkook, don't you think you should take your sister somewhere like hotel or maybe park? He said sternly. No, dad, it's okay. I am good here with all of you. You said. Ah, my lovely daughter, I was just saying that to know each other well, you should go out and have some fun. He said, smiling at you as he placed his hand on your mom's shoulder, whose eyes sparkled. Actually, Dad, you're absolutely right. Wine, get ready, we're going out, okay? He said, shooting you a stare so you don't say anything. You walked to the upstairs. You took a quick shower and changed into a light pink floral frock and doing some makeup. You walked to the downstairs. Jungkook looked at you with his eyes shining. Shall we go? He asked, bidding your parents goodbye. You both left. In hotel, you sat at the lunch table beside Jungkook picking up a food menu. You were looking through the dishes when Jungkook spoke out. I'm not able to forget the moment when your mom entered in the house and how you rushed to the upstairs like a deer afraid to caught in headlights. He said, chuckling. You raised your arm without looking at him. He laughed so hard that you were afraid that soon he will start to roll on the floor. He was speaking out, but you cut him off. What are you doing? I didn't hit you intentionally, okay? You said, glaring at him. Well, I don't feel any hesitation to tell people. He said, smirking at you. You noticed the bunch of girls who were sitting on the another table were glancing at Jungkook and giggling, which made you feel sad. You glared discreetly at the giggling girls who were now looking at you to giving you judgmental look. It was noticed by him as he whispered in your ear. Someone is sizzling, he said in his deep voice. Who? No, I am not. You said, zoning out from your thoughts. You are not. Okay, let's see. He said, winking slightly at you. He glanced over them and gave them a smile and a wave. They burst into another round of giggle, and one of them literally fainted, which made your nose started to flare angrily. You grabbed the fork from the table and stabbed it into the table sheet. Jungkook smirked and took the fork from your hands as he placed it back on the table and held your both hands. See, Ryan is getting married, he said. Hey, they are not that bad. You turned your head to the other side, but suddenly your eyes widened when Jungkook smiled at you. Your face turned into tomato while light smirk wrapped around your lips. You looked at the girls who glared at both of you and went outside the hotel. Happy now? He asked, and you nodded, hiding your face. Soon the waiter served the food as you both had it, and after paying the bill, you both left the house. As you both reached the house, you walked into the dimly living room as you plopped down on the sofa. Your eyes fell on the table where a small note was placed. You grabbed it, frowning, and opened. It said, Dear Vana and Jungkook, we are leaving for Paris as something urgent came up, so you both take care of yourself. And my son, don't tease your sister, behave nicely to your brother also, Vayan, otherwise you know your mom really well. Hey, where is mom and dad? He asked, sitting on the couch beside you. Instead of replying him, you handed him a note. Jungkook read it and smirk wrapped on his lips. That means we are alone, you squealed back. Suddenly someone banged on the door. Hey, open the door before I broke it, she said.